At 10 p.m., UBC still has one more news bulletin for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Chondusha with Nagakone Elizabeth on Sign Language. Let's take a look at the headlines. Teso Karamoja sub-regions get ICT facility. HIV and TB a ticking time bomb among refugees. South Sudan benchmarks on border operations. In our sports news, Indians celebrate Yoga Day in Uganda. In our top stories, President Yoweri Museveni has launched Phase 4 of the National Information Communication Technology Backbone Infrastructure Project for Teso and Karamoja sub-regions at Ongongonja Secondary School in Katakwi District. The project that is tailored for educational learning is expected to enable students access electronic textbooks loaded on computer sets. Now, the system goes a long way to eliminate students' expenditure on textbooks. The project is also intended to lower the cost on the internet bandwidth. The president expressed happiness the project that would benefit rural-based schools. Take a look.
President Yoweri Museveni has launched Phase 4 of the National Information Communication Technology Backbone Infrastructure Project for Teso and Karamoja sub-regions at Ongongonja Secondary School in Katakwi District. The project that is tailored for educational learning is expected to enable students access electronic textbooks loaded on computer sets. The system goes a long way to eliminate students' expenditure on textbooks. The project is also intended to lower the cost on the internet bandwidth. President Museveni expressed happiness for the project, saying that it will benefit rural-based schools.
I call for both.
President
Museveni, who later addressed a rally at Oblengorok Primary School, sensitized wananchi in Katakwi District, in particular Teso sub-region as a whole, on the available approaches to create household wealth and to commercial methods of farming in order to eradicate household poverty and be economically empowered.
In order to chase Etenge.
So papa bonibe ibusakinti dona akori nyamata anwa koi anwa irutare tenge.
But we need Akor Kede Agwerana Andasiringa
Mamaragola. Balapo bongesi konye ibusakini toni akori nyamat anwa gwelanar teteroni dumuni isirigin.
To chase Ichan.
Ano I rutar Ichan.
We need two.
So iboronguni are posiki pudoni.
There are two enemies.
Balangesi be ngunu ngesi teida boni tere kinakada itunga.
Ichan.
Ngesakironi kama naraka Ichan.
And Etenge.
Na yare kini ngesete.
He recommended to the people in Teso sub-region the plan of modern commercial agricultural practices of 4-acre piece of land where they can grow cassava, groundnuts, fruits like oranges, pasture for zero grazing of animals, poultry or piggery, and fish farming for those who are in valleys.
And I want to thank the people of Teso. They are hardworking people. But I was looking at the crops. Until I got here, all the crops I saw were mainly the type of what we call Akor na Akoik. My question was, where is the Akor Kede Agweranar? I was not seeing Akor for the shillings. So this is a problem now.
So tere kindonge sate marda boni be ationi singesina.
Because yes, you have got needs for Akoik.
No Akoiki.
But you also have needs for the pocket.
He said that it is his wish to have Teso become an area where milk can be produced.
Akiratona sodit elomunito Bible
The Minister of Internal Affairs, General Jeje Odong, urged the people of Teso sub-region to continue cherishing peace, stability, love for one another and their neighbors, and pledged full support from the people of the area to the NRM come 2021.
All right. This place is where you voted highly. I know you have the records. And we are proud as a district to continue supporting you.
Katakwi District LC5 Chairman Walter Lucas Okirim gave assurance that the people of the area are ready and committed to embrace the President's ideology of wealth creation. UBC TV, Harris Nambi.
President Yoweri Museveni has reiterated his call to the people of Uganda to make use of the infrastructure being put in place by the movement government and create wealth. Now, the president was commissioning the first phase of Uganda's support to municipalities' infrastructure development program, roads in Soroti municipality in Teso sub-region. The World Bank, through the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, funded the project. The first phase of the USMID project covers 5 roads in Soroti municipality and 7 more roads will be covered in the second phase. The whole 30 billion Ugandan shillings USMID project also includes street lighting, drainage, solid waste matter management, as well as taxi and bus terminals within the municipality. President Museveni reminded the people of Uganda not to mix development and wealth creation, explaining that development like the infrastructure are for everybody, yet wealth is purely on an individual basis at household level. Mr. Museveni added that wealth can also create employment where a farmer can employ a number of workers on his farm. Citing Rengaju Kabarole district in western Uganda, the president said the people of the area that has 3,000 families woke up and are now seriously engaged in calculated commercial agriculture and are enjoying both food and financial security. The president pointed out that if there were to be more of those employers, many Ugandans would be employed. Now, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Betty Amongi, disclosed that her ministry has started a pilot project of mapping out customary land in Soroti municipality and Katakwi town with the aim of providing owners with land titles. Still in more news, Rwenzururu Kingdom Queen Mother has been laid to rest in Chidiendi, Bundibujo district, her ancestral burial ground. Vice President Edward Chiwanka II was the chief mourner. Except for the Minister of State for Agriculture, Christopher Chibanzanga, the Queen Mother's children, including King Charles Wesley Mumbere, boycotted the burial. However, Rwenzururu and Obundinjia cultural leaders attended the burial ceremony held in Bwamba, another kingdom. Obundinjia Bwamba, former spokesperson Dr. Suzanne Chomhendo, said Obundinjia and Rwenzururu Kingdom are one and the same. He called for unity to develop the area. Earlier, a funeral service was conducted by Reverend Canon Wilson Kiza at St. Barnabas Church of Uganda, Bumado, Bundibujo Town Council. He requested both Rwenzururu and Obundinjia to work for peace in the region. Ronald Mutejike, the chairman, LC5 Bundibujo district, was among the organizers of the burial that was held peacefully. He also called for unity of the two belligerent kingdom leaders. Chidiendi in Bundibujo district is the Queen Mother's ancestral burial ground, though King Charles Wesley Mumbere had wanted her burial in Rwenzururu Kingdom's official burial grounds located in Kasese. May God strengthen the family. Moving on, stigma is a malaise associated with the ailment of HIV and AIDS and associated infections like tuberculosis, among others. At Panjadoli Health Center 3 in Chiandongo, TB and HIV patients on treatment disappear without trace due to the fear of being seen. Unfortunately, refugees in this area are some of the victims, something which was discovered during a site visit by Uganda Country Coordinating Mechanism for Global Fund. Take a look.
Because it's like a time bomb now in Western Isles, especially, where you find girls coming to Koboko town in the evening hours in big numbers. Girls coming to Moyo town in big numbers. Young girls, 15, 16, and 17, coming to Azumani town in big numbers and roaming all over.
This was one of the concerns raised by Moyo County Member of Parliament Tom Alero Azar in June 2018. It was at the Ugandan Parliament during the launch of the first annual report of the Presidential Fast Track Initiative on ending AIDS. Apparently, free-range lifestyles exhibited by refugees had become a thorn in the foot of activists against HIV/AIDS in the West Nile region of Uganda. 1 year later, Uganda Country Coordinating Mechanism for Global Fund chose to embark on a fact-finding mission to establish the validity of this argument. The first stop was at Panyadoli Refugee Settlement in the Kiryandongo district of northwestern Uganda.
Kiryandongo is an old settlement, and after being closed, we expect all refugees at least to be self-reliant. We've moved from emergency system to development. So all these partners who are on the ground try to enable or to build skills in these refugees so that tomorrow they can sustain themselves.
Due to increase in refugee population here, it was agreed that the settlement stopped admitting new refugees and asylum seekers in 2016. Currently, the refugee population stands at 58,047, with 90% being South Sudanese, a number that comes with other challenges.
In the settlement, we seem to be having some improved services, so it calls for most of the host community to come to Kiryandongo to receive services.
On arrival at Panyadoli Health Center 3, it is business as usual. But behind the curtains is an interesting and challenging tale of health service delivery.
The refugees are interfacing with the communities, and Kiryandongo uniquely has the highway running through it. As a result, hotspots have developed.
Kagoda Joel, a medical clinical officer, was allocated to the HIV and TB clinic on being posted here in September 2017. Over the years, he has seen HIV patients' enrollment grow, as the current standing is at 4,343, with 1,642 of them being active. These include nationals, who are 3,939, and 404 refugees. Of these, refugees active on treatment are 242, while nationals are 1,400. The implication of this is that some HIV patients still live in denial, with some cultures of the South Sudanese not favoring the fight.
They say, no, this can't be. For us, my husband, I left the husband in Sudan. How come I have HIV when I'm in Uganda? I've been here for the last 3 years, 4 years. Where did I get the HIV from? This is for Ugandans and Ugandans who are prostitutes. Yet literally HIV cuts across. The modes of transmission are well known. It is either sexually, could be sharing sharp objects, and other maybe mother-to-child transmission.
Similar encounters are reported in the section of tuberculosis. As of 2018, 18 TB patients were enrolled per quarter, a figure that has since increased to the current average of 40 patients per quarter. Awareness may have been raised, attracting positive responses, but one challenge remains clear for both HIV and tuberculosis: stigma.
Because you go, identify the place after hurdle, you reach the person's home, you have identified yourself, you have told them why you are there, but all they will do, they will say they don't know the person, and yet that is the home of the person.
This is the trend that Uganda Country Coordinating Mechanism for Global Fund is seeking to change.
The refugees in the settlements live and interact with our nationals, Ugandans, within the communities where they are hosted. As a country, Uganda hosts many refugees across the borders, so it is important to look at how we control HIV transmission, TB transmission, and malaria transmission within this community, but also to treat those that are affected by the three diseases.
This fact-finding mission is not ending here at Panyadoli Refugee Settlement, but UCCM Board for Global Fund looks forward for more visits in other refugee hosting areas in the near future.
So you cannot put a barrier and say our Ugandans won't get TB, therefore we can abandon the refugees. We need to control the spread of tuberculosis, the transmission of HIV, as well as malaria.
The Uganda Country Coordinating Mechanism for Global Fund is the country's Global Fund Board, established to oversee management and implementation of Global Fund grants in Uganda. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998. With a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda, we created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
The Ministry of Health, with support from partners, is organizing the first African Hepatitis Summit to run from the 18th to the 20th of June 2019 at Speak Resort Munyonyo. The summit will be held under the theme Eliminating Viral Hepatitis in Africa, implementing the viral hepatitis strategy, and the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will officially open it. The three-day summit will strengthen the broader hepatitis response by sharing ideas, experiences, and the best practices in addressing the many challenges of viral hepatitis in the region. It will bring together delegates from African civil society groups, World Health Organization member states, CDC, patient organizations, policy makers, public health scientists, Ministry of Finance, African Union, East African Community, academia, politicians, World Hepatitis Alliance, scientists, pharma industry, and funders. The African Hepatitis Summit 2019 is a regional public policy 3-day event bringing together an audience of 1,000 people. Interested participants should visit www.africanhepatitissummit.com to register for this important summit or call +256 702 230 051 for further guidance. This is a message from the Ministry of Health, Uganda. Co-sponsoring partners.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In more stories, South Sudan customs officials and government agencies working at Nimule One-Stop Border Post are benchmarking with Uganda on the operations of One-Stop Border Post. Nimule One-Stop Border Post is currently under construction. South Sudan officials and development partners believe it is relevant to learn from its counterparts in the region who have functional and efficient OSBPs. Take a look.
A delegation of South Sudan officials from Nimule One-Stop Border Post in the north have been in Uganda for a practical benchmarking mission on some of Uganda's one-stop border posts. The mission necessitated taking them through the functionalities of both Busia and Malaba OSBPs in both the Kenyan as well as Ugandan side.
Now, what makes Busia a unique OSBP is that we are fully operational. And that means that the Ugandan official is free to carry out his mandate while in Kenya, and there is no limit as far as that is concerned. The second very beautiful thing about the Busia OSBP is that we are able to resolve our issues here.
Busia is one of the busiest border. Daily they receive around 450 trucks per day. Imagine those number of trucks, they're able to be cleared in one day. Nimuri currently takes 3 days to clear 100 trucks. So with this concept, we aim that Nimuri will also be taking 3 to 4 hours to clear the goods destined to South Sudan.
The educational tour comes at a time when South Sudan is anticipating an increase in trade flow due to peace, transparency and improvement of livelihoods with the establishment of better border management and coordination.
As South Sudan Customs, we are happy to embrace the generation, because in this generation you don't expect to be lagging behind. You want to move with what is right. We are looking forward to ensure that we also join the East African community and also work at the standard where they are working in.
There are a lot to be learned actually, because what we are doing now, we are constructing one-stop border post. And one-stop border post concept is not only infrastructure, it's not only building and computers and so forth, but the human beings, the human resource. If they are not well trained to the system, then the whole infrastructure will be useless.
Busia is recognized as one of Africa's exemplary one-stop border posts. This is nevertheless attributed to the efficient use of the electronic single window system, proper border management and the enhanced market integration of both Ugandan and the Kenyan border communities.
We have incorporated the private sector. We know that there are people in the private sector are the ones who pay taxes that our governments badly need to provide services for the population. Now, leaving them out of the discussions on things that affect their business is actually not a wise thing. So we recognize that we need the private sector participation in determining how best they can be served. This helps us to be responsive to things that actually affect their business. We have meetings with the bus operators. They are the ones in that business. We need to appreciate their real challenges and find a solution. We have space here for cross-border traders. We have space here for women cross-border traders. And we recognize that a woman, when a woman gets income, that income affects the entire family positively.
Because they have the joint border committees that are held regularly, it becomes again much easier for them to sit under the same forum to discuss on issues and come up with strategies to address the challenges at hand. And in the event the challenges are not resolved at the joint border committees level, they can be escalated to higher levels for further intervention.
Many countries are turning towards developing better border management strategies and infrastructure to boost trade flow and movement of people. South Sudan is one of Uganda's leading trade partners. However, in the recent years, the trade flow between the two countries has been hampered by insurgency and insecurity in Africa's youngest nation. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Thank you, Dennis Sigoa, for that wonderful story. Now, barley farmers in Kwen District, Sebei sub-region, have asked government and partners to invest more in barley growing to maximize profits. Farmers say benefits from barley growing are enormous, but more help by government in terms of infrastructure development and regulation and policies can do them better. Details follow.
15 years ago, farmers in Kwen District and the entire Sebei sub-region had no idea of what barley crop was like. But most of them concentrated on growing traditional crops like maize, Irish potatoes and cassava for domestic consumption. But after the introduction of barley in 2008 by Nile breweries, farmers realized that it is a life-transforming crop.
Well, as we grow barley, we sell barley at the fair price, good price. We get money. We also build houses. We dress ourselves. We eat well.
Farmers also say there is a ready market for the crop that has a short maturity period and is less laborious.
Okay, barley gives us better money and less work also. We don't have a lot of work inside of barley.
15 years later, Nile breweries also acknowledge that the production and the quality is steadily getting better.
The season that we have just concluded, we managed to get 6,500 metric tons from Kapchora Kwen and Buko. Now, going with the farm gate price of 1,500 shillings per kilo, that's mean in Sebei last year, Nile breweries gave out 9 billion, which went to the farmers. And this is in line with the government program of creating wealth.
However, the farmers have expressed concerns over the poor roads and what they term as a low price for the crop.
I do request that if we are to get good roads, then our bala cannot rot in our houses, because if you have a good road, then you will reach to the buying center very fast.
This was during the Farmers' Day, organized by the Nile breweries as a corporate social responsibility for the sub-region. During the event, the best performing farmers went away with prizes, and partners pledged to work towards improving farmers' livelihoods.
Another issue that we are doing to address the challenges, we have a team of extension staffs who are training farmers on proper crop management, planting and post-harvest handling. This helps to improve on the tonnage and also helps to reduce on post-harvest losses. As a result, the farmers at the end of the day get some good yield.
Philip Aguta reporting.
Now, administrative secretaries are like an adhesive tape in the management of government affairs. However, their roles are often sidestepped to the detriment of delivery of public services. To this effect, therefore, the rank and file of the administrative cadre are being advised to be firm and protect their space for sustainable delivery of government services. This was at a meeting of close to 200 administrative secretaries and the launch of the SACCO held at the Office of the President, Kampala. The Secretary Office of the President, Haji Yunus Kakandi, officiated the event. We have a detailed report.
Your role, you as administrative officers, is so crucial in these ministries where you are, that please play it. Assert yourself, actually, that's the word I want to use. Assert yourself, see that whatever policies are passed and are sent to you are implemented. If there are impediment to those implementation, you bring them up.
That we are under threat. I want to thank in the same vein the Secretary, Office of the President, who has stood his ground to defend us colleagues. I have been there and I have seen how he has done it. At some point, I can assure you, he has been abused, but he has said, no, I am part of it. I will stand for the cadre. Our human resource cadre also is the one that is threatening us, and it is the one that has taken on our association, the APAM. So I would encourage all of you to register and become members, but not only become members, actively participate.
I have a lot of confidence that by the time you finally leave office, all these issues disturbing us will have been put to rest.
That this business of undermining your cadre started some time back. But of course, me, I'm very sure, and I'm still believing that it will not succeed, because administration, not only in these less developed countries, but even in those developed countries, is the core of success of any government policy.
Administrators, we number 200. 41 represents a percentage of 21%. So there is need to mobilize for this circle if it really belongs to us. But I am convinced it is ours, so we should have a membership beyond this 41. And out of the 41, only 24 paid subscription, membership, and monthly savings.
President Yoweri Museveni has hailed Omukwenda Bisaka for uniting Kibale people. The president credited Bisaka for his attempt to uproot witchcraft from the area. This was contained in a speech read for him by local government minister Kano Tom Butime. Take a look.
tusaba bwayize zisokeze emezimu n'engoma zisobole kukola enkwasa y'omukolo.
abazensi ebyahayigulu byona ebikagenda nalabani mbaguzi ati ebigambo byange omukamana musozi nagaruka luka
obwolekana notegereza myaka kyenda okwakwenda kulera obukimu mutwaimena mukire embala zayo
tata mukama lwange obusobozi nyonyizire kubagana emikisa mbikyehamyaka
tukusiima okupeereza district status hamu n'ebindi byona ebikorwa ng'enguudo ziriyo nizitemera
habwokuba yowe enyikiriza enigigoza muno tati isito obusobozi ndozerega okwegoza ndozerega obusinge narora obumu abacolire nti nawe obukuru magezi ayeyongere yatukulembere ka pulezidenti waitu weihanga lino lya Uganda.
NRM itoraganiza kwigala tuli besigwa hali NRM kandi ndahanyikiriza eyobumu abokuba nuko musingi okuturukusigikiriraho kimu.
Kampala International University proprietor Hassan Basajabalaba has vowed to ensure that the institution never tries on scientific innovations that aim towards contributing to a better health sector. Basajabalaba was at Kampala International University's 20th graduation ceremony at the institution's Kabalagala campus. Take a look.
Upon the victory that you have just achieved, our special guest, His Excellency Dr.
As non-communicable diseases continue to torment Uganda with increased death, Kampala International University has vowed to embark in research for a lasting solution. This they promise to do through various collaborations that will not only be limited to easing non-communicable diseases, but also other ailments like dental care, which continues to be an Achilles heel in Uganda.
We accomplish all the labs because we have 25 science laboratories of health sciences, we have 5 laboratories of anatomy, we have 5 laboratories of biochemistry, each biomedical lab, we have 5, but they are all equipped according to Shamanya, we only need sockets. Which we have provided by man, and I was very grateful when he brought that.
Basajabalaba was officiating the 20th graduation ceremony, at which more than 2,000 graduates were conferred upon.
Some of you have been studying alongside your work schedules, while the majority are probably without an assured job as of today. For those with a job already, while you joined in KIU, please go and enhance your performance at your workplace.
Minister for Innovations, Dr. Elioda Tomwesije reiterated government's continued support towards private institutions like KIU, which venture into advanced science and technological research for lasting solutions.
Could you please all rise?
The 2019 graduation class had 23 first-class degrees, including Thomas Wanga, Asan Kezimbira, and Sarah Nandudde.
Many universities are graduating. Please do not despair. All you need is to remain focused, keep trying, and do not undermine any opportunities that will come your way. I urge you to remain patient and grow in your job and earnings as you go along. Do not add to the numbers of those who are in a rush to accumulate wealth by taking shortcuts. I always say, even those who take shortcuts always come back to the main road.
Males yet again dominated with more than 51%, while 41% of the graduates are equipped with applicable skills relevant not only for the formal job market but also self-entrepreneurship. John Burns, Sentinel, reporting.
Religious life calls for commitment if the consecrated are to fulfill their spiritual service. The Regional Superior of the Apostles of Jesus, Uganda, Father Joseph Chain, advises on the religious agenda in life. He was presiding over Mass where 3 sisters of Daughters of St. Paul renewed their vows before the local superior, Sir Benedict Lutaya.
I, Elizabeth Mweni Mumbe, in the hands of Sister Benedict Lutaya.
3 sisters of Daughters of St. Paul renewed their vows of chastity, poverty and obedience. Sister Victoria Wambui, Elizabeth Mweni and Florence Lanyero took their vows before the local superior, Sister Benedict Lutaya, at Tekla Formation House in Kampala. During the homily, the Regional Superior of the Apostles of Jesus in Uganda, Reverend Father Joseph Cheyune, challenged the religious to do all things the Jesus way.
Don't swear. Just do what you have promised God to do. Victoria, you have said, Lord, I've come to serve you. Just do that. Don't swear. The doing, as I said, you must do it the Jesus' way. Don't do it according to the politicians. Sisters, don't do it according to social workers. So when you come to do the doing, facilitated by the being, you have to do the doing. The English is very good tonight. According to the yardstick of our Lord Jesus Christ.
The local superior, Sister Benedict Lutaya, says their main work is to use the means of social communications to evangelize the world.
The Daughters of St. Paul are women consecrated in the church whose mission is to evangelize through the media of social communication. The training is mostly focused on catechism, documents of the church, human information, and maturity. The new era that we are in, especially concerning the social media, we use internet as to help the many users of internet to come closer to God.
The 3 sisters said the day was a turning point in their lives to closely follow in the footsteps of their founder, the Blessed James Alberion, and using the media to bring salvation to the people.
That the means of social communications are well used, especially for the spreading of the gospel.
Mean of social media, it should bring people closer to God, especially our youth today.
Our evangelization, especially through the means of communication, which are evolving every day, it calls us to always be updated.
Daughters of St. Paul were founded by Reverend Father James Alberion of Italy 104 years ago. They use social communication means to evangelize. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Congratulations to the nuns. Moving on, after a protracted journey of educating the nation, Kumba University will later this year celebrate its silver jubilee. This comes at a time when it's been officially confirmed that Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II will celebrate his 2019 coronation anniversary at the university premises next month, I beg your pardon.
When a spate of criminality rocked the country last year, Entebbe was one of the most affected areas. A call then was made to members of the public to provide security within institutions, including wall fences. The process at Nkumba University is now complete and coincides with the university's Silver Jubilee, during which the Kabaka coronation anniversary to be hosted at the university's playground is monumental during the period in which a lot is organized.
When we start on Tuesday, we are going to continue with these celebrations and activities until around 27 September, when we shall conclude, or when we shall have the climax of the Silver Jubilee celebrations.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Wilson Muinda Mande underlines the various attributes Nkumba has achieved in its 25 years, notably the malaria research, which, when fully achieved, will help curb Africa's #1 killer.
Nkumba University as we have said, it has these schools and so on. But we also try to do research, and in provision of research, I was giving just one example, that one of the such projects which I should mention is Olwoko Malaria Project. This Olwoko is aimed at producing drugs which will treat malaria.
The Silver Jubilee celebrations will be launched by Buganda Katikkiro Charles Peter Mayiga this Tuesday. Nkumba University has progressed from a nursery, primary, secondary, College of Commerce to its current status, attained in 1994 with the university charter achieved in 2007. John Burns, Sentamo, reporting.
In our business news, Kampala Capital City Authority has urged people operating businesses in Kampala district to be a little patient with the project of non-motorized transport corridor because the inconveniences are short-lived. The Public Relations Officer KCCA Peter Kawuju says so far 60% and 65% of the expected work is complete. Reporters assessed the works on the ground and now report.
February this year, Kampala Capital City Authority embarked on a pilot project, the first of its kind in Kampala, to construct a road that provides lanes for cyclists and pedestrians, the non-motorized transport corridor on Namirembe Road through Room Street to Entebbe Road. The authority created a number of diversions to be used by motorists. However, traffic jam has affected movement on these roads. What is on ground at one of the diversion, construction of tarmac, is evident, with works on pavers still ongoing. The design of this road, that has grass and flowers, will be free from motorized transport.
Final touches, because beautification comes towards the end. That's only the beginning. So you cannot beautify a road before you complete its construction. So they're going to see it when we are done. We're going to beautify, just like we have seen our efforts on all the other roads in the city.
However, this part has not yet been joined to the main road that joins from Gaddafi Mosque around Pride Theatre. A number of lanes have been constructed here, but road users claim they are narrow.
Bwenawo tunulira olulabi balukola batyo dda abagereka Nairobi bazikola batyo
ite bagulu kufulayo oba bagala bati basime wansi mu ttano tuyite mu bashe mu ttano abebigere oba ab'emmotoka tusagamba nti bafunza nguudo nga jama badde akwata ng'enguudo ede weeziri kati zinaavaawo jamu agenda kubeera ki.
Work in the city. We are not any other employer as KCCA. We pay serious attention to the works that are done in our area, whether they are done by staff of KCCA, whether they are done by our contractors. We have no tolerance for shoddy work or corruption when time for work comes. So Sterling is one of the best contractors we have on the market here, and they are doing a good job. We are supervising them. Possibly people suspect that it is shoddy work because they don't know what exactly is happening. But it can't be shoddy work, and we allow that. We are very strict, and we have blacklisted some people who have done shoddy work before.
But a number of the road users are of a view that government should have improved the road into a highway, since it is the only road that leads to the city from different parts of the country.
Kyandibadde kirungi naye kakati lwe luguudo lwokka lwe tulinawo olugazi. Bw'ongamba nti olugyewo mmotoka ziyite mu lukuubo tebankulaakulana.
Bandibadde nga gwetagagaziya ne balukola nga highway ne bateekako ekyuma wakati, emmotoka ne ziyita mu speed, enguudo z'ebigere ne baziteeka mu mabbali nga bwe bakoze oluno wakati mu kibuga. Genda ku Rubaga road eziyingira Kampala second kaguudo kafunda we ziyita zone zibadde ziyita wano nga zigenda mu town. Kati jamu akendede mwanyinazi nsobora wano logical behind byanfuna ndowooza katulinde tulabe.
From Pride Theatre down Namirembe Road, works are ongoing. The biggest part of this section is Maram. It is still at the stage of being enlarged to 2 lanes for motorized transport and 2 lanes, both on the right and left side, for the pedestrians and cyclists.
So there is no cause for worry. We shall be able to give them timelines when they can deliver or pick their merchandise from their shops. So there is no need to worry that because it's non-motorized transport, people will be denied access to their shops, especially to make deliveries. So we'll be giving them timelines as we move towards the conclusion of the project.
People who operate businesses along this corridor applaud government for this initiative, which they say has helped increase customers.
Okusitula ate ebintu mbu ate abitwalewo ateeka buteesi mu mmoloka ye naye ng'emmoloka zirina osigalako baatugamba kugenda sigalako wanuwo.
Initially we are getting little customers, but apparently our customers have increased. The dust has really reduced.
Civil works are still ongoing on the road and opposite Ham Shopping Mall with noticeable diversion. However, construction of the lanes is expected to be complete by November this year, and the whole project is estimated to cost 6 billion shillings. The look of things at this particular spot is that construction of this road has just started, and the traffic inconveniences in the various diversions created as a result of this project are to continue for some time. I'm Nafka Farida, reporting in Kampala.
In our sports news, State Minister for Primary Education, Rosemary Nansobuga-Seninde, has emphasized the need for physical education in schools to promote physical and mental fitness. Seninde encourages the public to embrace regular exercise for physical body fitness. She said this during Yoga Day celebrations, an Indian economic care tradition celebrated every June.
Simple it seemed, but difficult it was as a group of Indians in Uganda embarked on yoga and exercise that boosts physical fitness, reduces on stress, emphasizes spirituality and emotional intelligence. From one drill to another, young, middle-aged and the old were all here to embrace healthy living through physical exercise.
Feel a nice stretch and gaze to the sky.
To some, it is one way of promoting peace between one's inner self and the rest of the world.
Can you be 24 hours angry? No, you can never be 24 hours angry, impossible. And therefore we resort to peace at the end of the day. But the question lies, how do I get peace in the world that I am here today? I can be relaxed after doing my exercise, but the mind keeps playing up all the time.
Open your eyes, then relax your hands.
To join the exercise was State Minister for Primary Education, Rosemary Nansobuga-Seninde. She actively participated throughout the drills, alongside Nakawa Divisional Mayor, Ronald Valimwezo.
As a very important tool to health, and particularly mental health.
But from what I've learned is that it helps our health. And in other words, I would like to appreciate the effort of calling everyone to understand that yoga is an important activity.
The duo agreed that this program ought to be integrated into the school curriculum to promote fitness among pupils and students.
This is a very, very important exercise, very simple exercise that I think we can adopt even in our schools. And I'm blessed that today we have had the Minister of Education as guest of honor. I believe that having gone throughout these exercises, she may appreciate and take the same in our schools.
I think this is another thing that we would encourage our physical education teachers to also learn and be able to teach it to children, because it is just something that relaxes someone. It relaxes your mind, it relaxes you, and your whole body feels relaxed, other than the vigorous exercises we always engage in.
The event attracted over 2,000 participants of both Indian and non-Indian origin this Sunday morning at the Kololo Independence Grounds.
Everybody is suffering in this world with so many diseases. So this is the only way that you can make it fit and healthy and spend less on the medicine.
Yoga is an ancient physical, mental and spiritual practice that began in India. It symbolizes the union between body and consciousness.
It's a great peace of mind. Yoga is a great peace of mind for the body, mind and the whole health.
Recognizing its universal appeal, on 11th December 2014, the United Nations proclaimed 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. These days, it is practiced in various forms around the world and continues to grow in popularity, with the Indians in Uganda rolling it across the country. Henry Okurut, UBC.
In more news, former Sports Club Villa president Ben Emmanuel Misaga has advised Federation of Uganda Football Associations to propel grassroots development, which is pregnant with talent that can enable Uganda to succeed. Misaga was in Munyonyo, where a local football tournament has not only attracted numbers but also quality talent. Take a look.
The annual Father Sengendo Inter-Sub-Parish Youth Gala has climaxed, with Kauku Sub-Parish emerging overall victors after a dove action. This sports gala that involves football, volleyball, netball, athletics and a host of indoor games is organized by Gaba Parish.
It's a community activity, but as well as an activity that brings out the talents of these young men and women. And we want to promote, we want to bring out the best out of our youth.
Now in its 5th year, the gala has attracted a high-profile guest, with a former Sports Club Villa president Ben Emmanuel Misaga in attendance and in generous mood.
What we are seeing right now is that these are amateurs, or they are still young. They need someone to promote them to another level. So basically what we are doing today is that we want to promote them to a different level, to give them more skills. They are skillful, but they need technical skills. So what we are trying to fish from them now is giving them the technical know-how, giving them how to use their skills. Yeah? Because what you are seeing now is that these players lack the technical know-how. They don't have the coaching, they don't have the skills to make them better players.
Action at the 5-team gala witnessed Bunga Sub-Parish win volleyball. In football, Kauku bettered all others, while Gaba was supreme in netball and athletics. John Barnes, Sendam, reporting.
National Handball League action has continued at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. The quality exhibited by players makes good reading for the national team that will witness international engagements later this year.
In Ndeje University teams, the men hoppers and their female counterparts have benefited the most from the latest outing of the National Handball League at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. The men edged Makerere Bulls 37-30 to consolidate top spot with 12 points from 6 games, while the females beat Makerere Ladies 22-21. The result moved Ndeje Lady Hoppers to second position on 12. Just one behind the women table toppers in Komba University Tornadoes. In another men's classic, Prisons needed a great second half to outlast Police 37-18 and thus consolidate second position, having played 5 games and picked 10 points. Performance of players, especially their scoring abilities, are lauded by Uganda Handball Federation officials ahead of upcoming national team engagements.
A strong league, in
impacts on the players of the national team. They have consistency of play. Ever since we introduced the system of playing every week at least one match, they have time to train, then time to compete. That means they can deliver better. Now you can see from the girl side, the top scorer has 70 goals currently. We have not yet reached half season, but Ndoa Doreen has 70 goals already, followed by someone at 63 and another at 54. So you see the scoring is a little bit high, and because they have time to train, they have time to exercise and give their product well.
In other games played among the men, Uganda People's Defence Forces overcame Evergreen 38-35 in a tight game, while Mukono bettered Chengeza and Nkanja outlasted UPDF 19-15. Action next week has 6 games, including third-placed Kawanda Secondary versus Prisons in the ladies, and Prisons are pursued for top spot among the men when they face 6th-placed Chambogo. John Barnes, Centre, Bulletin.
That brings us to the end of our news bulletin at 10 p.m. Let's take a look at the headlines before we sign out. TESO, Karamoja sub-regions get ICT facility. HIV and TB a ticking time bomb among refugees. South Sudan benchmarks on border operations. In our sports news, Indians celebrate Yoga Day in Uganda. That's all we had for you in our news bulletin. Thank you so much for watching TV Inspiring Uganda. My name is Sharon Chamdasha with Nakoni Elizabeth on Sign Language. Have a lovely, blessed week.